Before I head over to the rebuilding exchange, I need to pick up some supplies here at Ace, the helpful place. Now I'm all ready for the kitchen project Sean Buino has in store for me.
We are going to install a slide-out shelf that's going to help your cabinet become more organized, and it's also going to make it easier to reach in there and get items. Now, when you go to the store, you're going to see these slide-out shelves, and they look really easy to install. But the thing they don't tell you is that most cabinets have to be modified just a little bit to get that shelf inside, and that's what we're going to show you today.
Sean packed his toolbox full of supplies for this project. He brought painter's tape, a steel rule, wood glue, clamps, safety gear, a stain marker, paper towels, and screws. In the tool department, you'll need to grab a drill and a jigsaw. Finally, you need to purchase a cabinet rack. This one costs just under $50.
First thing we're going to do is take the doors off the cabinet. This is a pretty swank cabinet right out of 1967, but most of you are going to have kitchen cabinets that you don't want to damage, so let's take that extra step right
Sounds
now.
good. All right, Sean, the doors are off. What's next?
We've got the rack. But if you notice here, it's not going to be wide enough to pull in and out of the cabinet.
Uh-oh.
So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this support so we have space for the slide out. Since it is a finished cabinet, we want to be really careful to do the least amount of damage as possible. So when we cut this, we're going to put a piece of blue tape over our cut, and this will help prevent this from chipping. Now we're going to use a jigsaw to cut this support out. So what I want to put on here is something flat and straight so we can use that as a guide.
All right.
So what I have out of the toolbox is a steel rule, and we're going to go ahead and clamp it to the cabinet so we have a nice straight edge on which to cut on.
Okay. The cutting goes off without a hitch. You'll want to make sure you have the right blade on your jigsaw for the project. In this case, we're using a blade made for cutting finished wood.
We've got the cuts done, the support is out of the cabinet, so we can go ahead and start working on putting the pull-out shelf in. The key to installing the slide-out shelf is just to make sure you're installing it in a space where you're not going to hit the side of the cabinet.
Once it's all lined up, we drill a few pilot holes and secure the sliders to the base of the cabinet. Then, we use a few more screws to attach the basket. Looks like we have ourselves a smooth sliding cabinet rack. But this project isn't over just yet. We still have to tackle the cabinet door.
So we want to reinstall the cabinet support to the door so we don't see a space in between the doors. So I've got some wood glue, and we're just going to put a small amount of it on the cabinet door.
Okay.
Yeah.
I notice your pictures on the front of the glue. Is that the Sean Buino brand?
That is. That's when I don't shave. You know, my manly look.
The wood glue is plenty strong, but we want some extra reinforcement. So we clamp the door and drill the wood together with a couple of screws. After an hour of drying time, we have ourselves a new kitchen cabinet door.
Okay, Ryan, we've got the door ready to be reinstalled, but before we do that, I want you to notice here the marks that we left when we cut off the support piece from this cabinet. And so what we're going to do is we're going to touch that up. In this case, what I brought with is a little stain marker here. Go ahead, take the stain marker, and just go ahead, apply it. You don't have to be neat because I've got a little piece of, this is shop towel here, and we're just going to kind of buff it in.
Now it's just a matter of reattaching our doors and loading the drawers and shelf back into the cabinet.
And now you have some great organizational space inside of your cabinet. Cabinet companies charge a lot of money to put these in. So you doing it yourself, you're going to save some money.
He's definitely right about saving some cash. This project costs around $50 to $75. Plus, you can complete this intermediate project in just a couple hours. All right, Sean, that was a simple storage solution, and it's going to be a lot easier to take those pots and pans out now.